So, moving on, Caboodle Innovations. Have I talked to you about Caboodle Innovations?
You mentioned it in our correspondence, I think.
They are a learning accelerator. They're out of India. I've had one meeting with them thus far, and we have another meeting set up this Monday at 10 a.m. I don't know if you'd like to join, but I believe Giselle and I will be meeting with them to discuss possible ways of collaboration. Um, they have a really neat learning accelerator, and they have a demo. If you'd like to see it, I could share that with you.
So is it a platform? Remind me what this platform does?
It bridges the teaching learning gap. So it like enables communication and participation between students, teachers, administrators, parents. It sort of gamifies learning, which like in the after school setting, and rewards through like badges and whatnot. But it has teacher training programs, and I think the possibilities of the technology they already have. They've done a lot of groundwork, have a lot of research, have implemented into a lot of schools, I believe. So I think we like the capability of implementing with them, or working together with them, is huge. Also, like I was saying, 3R Educational Solutions LLC. She does the social emotional learning, and she does teacher training. So she's excited to help us with our teacher training objective. Um, Additionally, I recently connected with a school administrator out of New York who started a social emotional learning program in New York schools. It is called, bear with me, excuse me. It's called Be Real to You, and that's pretty neat. It's programs to help children with their social emotional learning. It's more, I think, for like middle school and high school. But they've expressed interest, as well as Caboodle Innovations and 3R Education Solutions, in being involved in our mission.
My question is, if we write them into the grant, that means that the grant will give them a portion of the money. Is that? I think we have to be careful if that, if that is the case.
Yes, there's been no talk of writing these people into our grants.
Oh,
This, I believe, is just collaborating on a volunteer basis.
oh,
Uh,
okay.
they're already well established and operating. They're just eager to lend their guidance and support to help with our mission, because they believe in it and that our objectives are aligned.
Okay.
And I think those people are very capable of helping
Yes.
our mission.
And I
So,
agree with you. I mean, the more resources and people we can get on board, I mean, we can't do this alone. This is a huge initiative. So, yeah.
yes, definitely. So next, the new member packet. Jamal and I created a new member packet. If you'd like, quickly, I could show you that. Do you mind looking at it?
Sure.
Okay.
Uh, Wait, before you go there, or we can discuss it after, but we have to address also where we are with the proposal for New Mexico, because I know I spent time, revising it and incorporating my edits and a diagram to make it stronger.
I
So,
love the diagram. The schematic is awesome. Did you see
yeah.
I updated our profile picture to that?
No, I didn't see that, but I just thought, if you're going to send it somewhere or show someone, if they can glance at a picture and get the main gist, that's much more powerful than reading.
Yes, for sure. So I'm gonna open it up to our New Mexico proposal quickly. So there's just a couple items we lack, and if you can get just a couple moments to take a look at it. So one of the things is here, innovative curriculum. Giselle had said our examples have to show how this is innovative, not already being done in the New Mexico classroom, etc. Also with the brain science, she said, right, okay.
Stop them.
Neuroscience is a strong theoretical foundation for developing a curriculum, but is not by itself an innovative curriculum. So I don't know. I think maybe if we could, what I did on the other ones was I just went through and changed the wording slightly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Jamal's here. All right. So I just went through and changed the wording. Like she said, what program? And I said, uh, we hope to develop this program. I just changed the wording a little bit to make it hopefully more palatable. Hello, greetings, Jamal. Good day, sir.
Hi.
Can you hear us? We've got Limor and Jamal and myself here today. So, like I said, if you get a chance to, I think it's like 2 or 3 items on the New Mexico proposal, just to give your input on that, because we're really close to ready. It's actually kind of overwhelming how close we are to ready, because I'm going to be pretty eagerly awaiting their response once I send it.
Did you get anyone else reading through it? But so us three, Giselle, and anybody else that looked at it?
Yes, Angel from 3R Education Solutions LLC. She looked at it and she helped with a couple typos that were done. She also pointed out, she's the one that brought to light the parents as teachers. So she added that input to perhaps incorporate that with the parents as teachers, which I thought was very good input. But the new member packet that Jamal and I created, that has like our mission statement. It's all referenced in links for Google Docs. So the new member packet has our mission statement, our objectives. It has our New Mexico proposal. It has the new member packet. It has everything. It has lots of stuff. And we have I don't know if you've seen this. We have a registration or a survey. It's a Google form. Jamal created questionnaire. Jamal created it. It's pretty incredible. We've had 10 people respond to it thus far. And so I've sent out our welcoming new member packet to all 10 of those people. It also includes like our meeting dates and our Telegram, etc. So if you'd like, Limor, I will forward you that questionnaire and you can take a look at it, and I'll send you the new member packet also.
Okay, great. That sounds wonderful. Thank you, Jamal, for doing that. Everything is, yeah, I say as soon as you can get this New Mexico proposal out, because what happens is it starts the ball rolling, right? These things
Yeah.
take time. So get it to the right people, get it rolling out, and I think that's the way to go. The longer we sit on it, the less, because we are so ambitious, right? We have so much to be, there's so much to be done.
Yes,
Get it out there.
I agree, definitely. So yeah, if you'll take a look at that, I'm happy to go over it one last time after that with a fine tooth comb and then send it out.
I would send it to Scott first.
Yeah.
I don't know what Jamal thinks about that, because, right, he said he'll help you. He maybe give you some pointers before you can send it to the higher ups.
Yes, I also will need for him to give us the higher ups names. But yeah, that's the idea, is to first send it to Scott, and I'm really looking forward to that. Will I send it in the Google Doc or will I copy it and paste it into an email, would you say?
That's a question for Jamal, right? The technical.
Well, no, it's more if we were sending something to an administrator, would they be willing to open a doc, right? Like it's not a technical matter, it's whether it would be appropriate, right? Like it's an etiquette thing.
Yeah, I think Scott might be able to help us answer that. You reckon?
Agreed. Because if he can't open it, then yeah, it would be technical, but most people can open docs. So
Actually,
and
the norm is to send, when we circulate in academia information like this, we circulate it using a PDF. Anyone can open a PDF.
Exactly.
That's what I would do. Yeah.
Yes. So that's an idea. But I like the idea of asking Scott, because if he is open to having it editable and he's helping us edit it, you wouldn't give him a PDF because he wouldn't be able to edit it.
I see. Okay. Well, I will definitely ask him what his preferred method of transfer is. So
Of course, we
moving,
could do both. Sorry. Yeah.
moving on, I'd like to go over our focus group assignments or our focus group. We have our first ever focus group or our focus group inaugural meeting tomorrow at 4 p.m. I don't know if you can make that, Lemore. I'm sorry if this is the first you're hearing about it. During this meeting, we hope to set up a time that's convenient for everyone that, and we hope to establish some leadership within the focus groups and get them moving towards our objectives. That meeting will be recorded and shared with whoever would like to watch it.
So did you have any responses? I mean, I know you're trying to get, I saw you nearly have 400 members, right? That's amazing.
Most do, yep. We're
Yes.
getting close.
So did you get any of the 400 responding to that meeting, meaning they're attending?
We've had a couple people say that they're going to be there. I've been reaching out individually.
Okay,
know.
yeah, it's really hard to get people motivated. Yeah.
It is.
I'm trying to think of the best way to go about it. I don't know. Maybe Jamal knows a different, way to go about it that will attract people more than just a meeting online. Let's say, I know nowadays workplaces have meetings. Yes, they do Zoom, but they also have, I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud. They share a platform. Like, let's say I go and I draw on Canvas and I invite you, then you could see what I'm drawing. And we're doing a brainstorm session where you can see, we're not talking, you're not looking at my face, you're looking at me drawing and you're adding your drawing. And it makes this amazing brain map that we can just take and run with. That kind of thing. It's very interactive.
That's cool. Yeah,
I
that's
just know because I have Canva, but I don't know of any other programs like that does. Do it.
Amber, you've actually done that with the whiteboard.
Yes.
It's similar concept, but the idea is having, you're describing having something mapped out beforehand or considered.
No, I mean, maybe instead of us talking now, I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud, maybe that will attract people more. Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Here's whiteboards here.
Mhm.
Yeah, that looks good.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Hold on, excuse me.
Yes. Oh, I just,
So the idea, I think what she's describing is having similar to a whiteboard, but having something. Can you hear me okay?
yeah, I can hear you.
Good. Having something prepared so that it's like an engaging presentation as opposed to just us sitting talking. I think that's what she was talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I'm thinking out loud how to attract people to this so you don't have to literally email or message 400 people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
designate and you say, hey, you're a group leader. And then in the future, you can have the group leader lead a group in this way. You see what I mean? So they're responsible for their,
Yeah.
because you subdivided the people. So let's say it's a group of 20 and they're responsible to generate brainstorming sessions like this. So it's way easier to get 20 people together or even 10 than it is 300, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I love that idea. This is a whiteboard I drew up a while back. I can't seem to get it spaced right. But I thought something like this is interesting as well. I don't know if this would be something for the group, but what should we start?
God.
What should we stop?
I like it.
Where-
Yeah, you moved the blue, but that's so cool. Like if you could have it like this looks great where you could have individuals say, I mean, you could say to the people that are in the focus group, give me your ideas and then let's talk about them type of thing. So, but when you're talking, if you're describing how to get people to engage in the group or come to the actual meeting, then you're talking about similar to the incentives piece, how we're incentivizing a parent or a teacher, giving trinkets and baubles always helps, making it gamified, having fun, a raffle, for example, or there are many tricks to that trade. Like how do you how do you get people to want to engage? And just planning it out. What she described as having the like, whether you call it a whiteboard or some type of pooled place where people are interacting, if that is something that is well thought out, so it's a standard agenda. If it's a standardized agenda, like, I don't like our agenda from yesterday, right, Amber? When I first drew it, I guess a month ago, it seemed okay, but as we used it yesterday, it was way too long and it needs to be shortened. So the idea would be, on a focus group agenda, have something that you're going to present. Oh, are you saying something?
No, sorry, I was talking
Oh.
to.
No worries. No worries. But the agenda would be similar, where it's a piece of paper that you copy for every focus group, so that you're saying, okay, each focus group should have this structure to it, where we're trying to do certain things. One of the certain things could be a fun, engaging presentation on neuroscience today, or capturing diet, a presentation specifically, even if it's, here's a 10-minute snippet of a long discussion on diet, and you're just discussing that 10 minutes of the presentation. Like, that would be interesting, right?
Mhm. That's good. I love that. I do. Yeah, Amber, you'll have a better success trying to pull people in with these different strategies Jamal just discussed than just saying, okay, everyone, we're meeting tomorrow at 4. I see that there's a lot of resistance to that.
Yes, yes, for
So
sure.
I think you have to set yourself up to success, especially since you want to move forward I would say as soon as possible, right?
Yes.
Certainly. Okay, so what you're saying is, like, presentations for the focus groups, like set up a video presentation, or am I?
So the idea is to get the word out that that's what you're doing. If you say we're featuring spiders and cats, like, you're going to get interest in the spiders and cats, or health or diet, right? Diet is one of the focus group's items. What are we talking about in terms of diet today in our focus group? And the best way to run a focus group is what we would come up with as time goes along. But this is why the agenda is so helpful. Even if it's a short agenda, some type of agenda lends to the duplication, so that we're doing something similar every time. And then people can lock in their mind, oh, okay, this is that focus group thing where they're going to be talking about something. Let me go, right? Like, trying to generate the interest beforehand, so that folk become, oh man, you'd love for folk to be dependent on it, right? But at least at first, just be interested in, oh man, I missed this week's presentation. I'll bet you it was interesting. Even having some recorded, but not the whole thing, right? You could offer it as a recording, but only a snippet of it, to entice more involvement. We had talked about having, I keep saying trinkets and baubles, but the idea of having something that relates to the individual participating, whether it be a free book, a free PDF, something like that, an audiobook or something, or not to get too fancy, but hotel stay or a free trip. Like, how many trips have you attended? I mean, how many groups did you attend this quarter? And then the person that does the most, they get a free car. Yeah, like that.
Hivebright had a great way of incentivizing and keeping track of participation, it looked like. So would you guys be able to help with that, like the presentations with the focus group? Like, Limor, would you be able to do perhaps like a neuroscience.
Sure. And it really doesn't have to be big and fancy. I mean, you have to define your agenda first, like to say, okay, in this time, everybody, let's say you want, we don't even have focus groups yet. I mean, you have the idea of them, but you don't have people subdivided into groups. So first thing first, what I think the first step is to establish one single meeting, as Jamal described, something that will blow them away. We're going to start with, it can be really quick and easy, a 5 to 10 minute, informative presentation. Name it something very enticing. Let's say we're going to deep dive into the child development, that's my area. That's why I went there. But let's say deep dive into child development, discover the secrets every parent wants to know. Something like that. Right there in that sexy title, you're already
Yes.
getting 200 people
That's
interested.
right.
Yeah.
It's true.
And then you build on
True.
that. So once you get the initial meeting, in that initial meeting, after I go, let's say I talk for 10 minutes or even less to keep their interest. After that, with the great secrets, whatever presentation, then after that, you open the floor and you say, okay, now that we have you here, let's start. Who wants to lead? Who's expert in health and diet? Who wants to lead that group? Who wants to lead this group? And then you send them off. It's like you have your, I'm thinking military here. You have your surgeons and then or your captains, whatever, and they're responsible for the soldiers. So now they go and they get their troops, and then they need to establish these meetings with them, that kind of thing. And
I love
they have to report to you. So the leaders report to you, and you help them continue this
I love that.
let's say on a monthly basis.
That's great. So let me ask you one more. Is there any chance you have time tomorrow to do that presentation and help talk through this?
No warning, huh? Well, I would like to prepare. I mean, if I'm going to, I'm an all or nothing type of person. So if I go in, I go all in. So I like to prepare something that's well polished, and I don't have a presentation ready yet. I'm working on something, but it's not ready yet.
Wow. Even for 5 minutes, I appreciate how you just presented it. I thought that was really interesting, just that you were pulling directly. I could tell you were pulling from your personal desire. That's what it's about. That's what all of this is about. When we talk to Amber, she's not coming with pre-made, something that she's sat and cogitated for months on. No, we're feeling her spirit, and that's one of the things that I think is really special about this group. So just to suggest,
Yes.
if you wanted to, I think you would do really well presenting it.
I mean, and I can talk. I mean, and it doesn't have to be formal. I mean, we don't want to lose
Exactly.
Yeah, we don't want, it's not a lecture or anything, but yes, I mean, I'm happy to share tips. I share them with my friends all the time.
That would be so incredible if you could be there tomorrow.
Wait, tomorrow is tricky. I'm sorry, tomorrow.
Saturday.
My daughter has back-to-back. She's going on stage for ballet performance, back-to-back with a violin recital. So tomorrow is crazy. I'm
That
sorry.
sounds great.
It's just happened. It's the end of the year and things wrap up. I can't do it tomorrow, but if you wanted, you could start it off tomorrow, Amber, with anything. You could speak of anything that's dear to your heart, and then I'm happy to go the next time. How about that?
That'd be perfect. Yes, I would greatly appreciate that.
Sure.
For sure. And like I said, tomorrow we hope to establish times for these meetings. I don't know if the time will continue on Saturday at 4 p.m. or what, but do you have any input on a good time for focus group meetings?
I think, I don't know how Jamal feels. Saturdays are hard. I think for a lot of people, it's a family day, especially in the summer. They're out at the pool, they're doing family reunions. I mean, maybe Saturday is tough. That's just what I'm thinking. I don't know.
What date and time would you suggest?
I think you know what you should do. I've done it in another Facebook group that I was helping them with. You should take it to the group and post, I don't know.
A poll.
Exactly. Hey, what's the best time of the, it could even be after work. I mean, any time of the week that is, we're just taking a poll, right? Take it to the people. What do you want? And that way you're targeting the maximum number of participants, right?
How scientific. I love it. I'll tell you what though, there is no perfect time. There really isn't. And we're talking globally too. So Jason, was his name Jason? He the fellow that worked with us yesterday, it was awesome, but it was 1 in the morning his time. 1 in the morning. Like I would have been so dead. I like so for him it was amazing that he was even there. But this is what we're talking about. Folk that have an interest in this and know that it's happening all the time, they're going to show, even if it's Saturday, even if it's Sunday, even if it's Monday, even if it's Wednesday. It's something that you build anticipation for, you build interest in, and that takes time, but it's very much doable, especially with some of the tips that we've discussed today in terms of what things can draw people in.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're laying some really good groundwork in terms of. I'm glad we had this meeting, in terms of what the focus groups should be doing.
Well, hopefully tomorrow we'll get off to a good start. I look forward to that presentation deal you were talking about, Limor. That's if you even just wanted to do a post on evolving in education, saying that you'll be doing a presentation at the next one, or that might be over asking, but
Yeah, but no, I would love to help you, but first thing first, establish when people would like to do this. Not when we would like to do this, when
Mm,
the
mm,
group would like to do this. And I'd like to get, what was her name? She's in our group. She's an administrator. She's in some country. She could never make it to our meetings because we always meet at 4 p.m. and it's 10 p.m.
Ilya.
What's her name?
Ilya.
Yes,
Ilya.
I really like her,
Mm.
and we need to schedule even this next administrator meeting. We should do it based on her because I would like to get her input. She has some very good ideas.
Yes, likewise. I've tried to reach out and get a hold of her, but I haven't been able to. So I don't know. I hope she's doing all right.
Okay.
Haven't. So moving on. Would you be interested in being on our board of directors, Limor?
Oh, that's a big question. I can't speak to that right now because I just established on May 9th, I established my own LLC company. So I'm
Oh,
trying to give that my full undivided attention.
good for
I'm
you.
trying to help you when I can, but and I don't know, and because it's a business and now it has its own, tax bracket and all the things that go into a small business, it's very tricky. I haven't even gone that far to discover if I can serve on a board. So I need to look into that more. Right
Okay,
now, I can't speak to that.
that's fine. We'll table that. I appreciate your telling me. So another thing is I got a message from a member of our group today, and she was encouraging me, saying she's been following along and she's encourages what we're doing. But she also brought up how she sees zero accountability in schools. She said like the superintendents don't even set foot in the schools and the parents aren't allowed in schools. So accountability, she says, like in nursing homes and in every other type of business industry, you have accountability. Like in nursing homes, there'll be checks, like sporadic, random, unannounced checks where someone will come and check the welfare of the patients, check the operating standards, etc. She said there's no system of accountability in public schools. So that's just something I wanted to bring up. Get your thoughts on it. We don't have
for me.
This-
Yeah, Rose, please.
Oh, I don't know anything about this topic, honestly. I mean, I
Mm.
can only speak to what I'm seeing at my daughter's school, and I actually love the principal. Is actually, I've never seen this done anywhere. He's actually greeting the students every morning, even if we're here in Wisconsin and it's super cold, even if it's, I don't know, minus 20 Fahrenheit, he'll stand there in his coats and greet the students outside the building. So as they come in the morning. So this principal is in the classrooms, he's helping out, and he knows most students by name. But
Mm.
then
That's-
again, you have other schools like this other lady described that fall short of that. So I think it's very dependent, right?
Yeah, I would like to see things more standardized, like have it the
Mm.
same all across the board, like equal. Because like in Finland, the like parents don't have to seek out a good school for their children because all schools are good, and they don't have to pay because they're all free. And teaching is a highly sought after trait or profession, and you have to have a master's degree. And
Wow.
it takes a lot to, excuse me, to make it or to be even considered to be a teacher.
Hmm.
So I think that's pretty interesting.
It
Um,
is.
We'll move on. I think I might have one other item. Well, this
Oh,
the
you
only,
don't want my input. Is that what you're saying there, Amber?
oh yeah, I do. Sorry. Go ahead.
Just briefly, I like the idea of evolving in education being able to amass these types of points. Amass these types of points. What am I talking about? The more people that get engaged, the better, of course. And them feeling engaged by being able to offer their expertise or their experience, like this person being able to say, look, I have a real problem with there not being accountability. Who gets to hear that except for us? If evolving in education becomes known as a resource for that type of voice, wow, like how good would that be? How much better would we be as an institution if the members' voices are heard more than just by us? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because when people have when people have trouble, who do they complain to? And if we become one of the complaint centers and we're able to echo it, um, uh, push it up, or make it more heard, that's what's important, right? Like changing the system. We can't change the system if they don't know. And because we want to be engaged in these different communities, a complaint from a member should go directly to the ears of someone that needs to hear it. Like, how great would that be?
Yeah, to amplify people's voices.
Amplify. Thank you. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So how do we do that, let's say, for accountability, this issue that
Yeah,
was brought up?
making it known. Ooh, that would be neat for the other group, right? You had mentioned having that fifth being that fifth other focus group as being like the community outreach, or not outreach, but the community. What did you say, Amber, about the other?
Anyone, regardless of their, expertise or background, and it be outreach, etc.
This sounds like accountability sounds like one of the first legs, if you will, or one of the first things that would be tackled by a other group, because it doesn't really fit in the other focus groups. It's more the structure of the environments, whether there's accountability. I like it. I like it. And then discovering ways accountability breaks down, because, for example, the at my school, at my kids' school, rather, my youngest kid's school, the principal does the exact same thing. They're always there, and that's appreciated. Where do schools stop doing that? Why? What's going on? What if New Mexico isn't doing that type of thing? What happened? Those are the types of questions that you would hope we would be able to figure out, right? I don't know how yet, but that's the question. And in terms of evolving in education, how we work, I would think it would fit under the other umbrella.
Yeah, Amber, so why don't you make a note of this accountability piece, and later as we get more advanced in the plan and as we move forward, I'm sure you'll find a way to insert it in. Not necessarily to a proposal now, but maybe later down the road, this piece of the puzzle.
Definitely, yes, I will. And any other concerns that are brought up by, oh, excuse me, members, I'm sorry.
Yes, and actually, maybe you could even make an announcement at one point. It doesn't have to be immediate. I know you've been cutting down on the messages, but maybe to the group, to the whole group on your front page, you can make them tell them, hey, we would like to amplify your voices. Exactly what Jamal said. Quote, we would like to amplify your voices. Are there any concerns? Please bring it up to our attention. Right here, your concern. And then maybe you will get a lot of responses that you could jot down and then once, like we said, incorporate down the road.
Yes. That's
Do you
great.
remember,
Go
sorry,
ahead. No,
do
you
you
go ahead.
remember you can use that everyone tag? Do you remember that? You can
Mhm.
use that everyone tag just once a day. So if we thought about it beforehand and said, okay, we're only going to use the everyone tag, because it gets watered down real fast. You don't want people to know, oh, that's just evolving in education again. If it's really important and it's something like, we just had a member complaining about accountability and we're working it into our next presentation, that would be interesting. And you wouldn't saturate people's inbox with just another message. It perhaps would have some relevancy, so that if they saw, wait a minute, Amber's sending out a message, it's special, let me read that. Right? Again, you don't want to do it every day because that's silly, but if it's really important and they catch it the first time and they're like, wow, okay, that was helpful to me. Let me not ignore when Amber says that there's, or when Evolving in Education says that there's an actual interesting piece to this.
Yes, that's a great idea. I have been trying to definitely go sparingly with the at everyone, but I like that idea.
Yes, those are great suggestions.
Yes.
So
We're
I'll
full of
tell,
great suggestions, right?
yeah,
It's like, it's
it's
easy to come up with the
brainstorming.
ideas, sort of.
It's brainstorming. Amber, I was just going to tell you, I will take a look, glance at Giselle's comments and get it back to you. But what she says might require some research, some research into the state of New Mexico, which I don't have specifics on. I know you researched the state and their education system before you met with was it Scott?
Yes.
So,
Additionally, I found out about, through Giselle's research, I found out about NIMPED, or New Mexico Public Education Department, has core implementation strategies, which, I mean, I don't know how to identify exact ways we can work alongside it, but to me, it looked like, with that framework, we could just grow it exponentially.
yeah,
We could combine the strengths of both and work together in unison, I think. So that's
yes.
pretty interesting. I revised most of the issues within the
Okay.
proposal, but
Can you send me the latest? I know I haven't really seen the latest edition of it, the latest that
yes,
we came up with.
the New Mexico proposal, yes, I'll send that to you for sure.
Okay.
And I'll also send you our Google registration form. And if you like to fill that out, then once you fill that out, I've been sending out the welcome packet upon receipt of the survey,
Okay.
the
So
Google
you would like
registration.
for me to, is this like you're collecting information on the group basically, or just this is for us more than anything?
This is just compiling like resources, figuring out what people's strengths are, what they're bringing to the table, getting their email,
Okay.
Time
etc. Time. We've had 2 people commit 10 hours a week, and other people 5, etc. So it's pretty incredible.
Yes. Powerful.
Yes, and Jamal and I have been talking about like a website, or like I said, HiveBright. I think we're going to go with the website first, because that's going to be, a lot easier to do. But it's all very exciting. It's sometimes a bit overwhelming, but I sent you the New Mexico proposal, and right now I'm sending you the well, I'll send you the Google form or question as soon as we finish the meeting. I don't want to keep y'all too long. I know we're coming up on an hour. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to discuss?
I think it was a great meeting. We accomplished a lot, right? I answered all
Yeah.
your agenda points.
Yes, I'm grateful for you both attending. I heard from Giselle, she wanted to be here, but she got held up at this camp she's teaching and there was no Wi-Fi there. So hopefully she'll be able to join us soon. And that meeting tomorrow, that focus group meeting, Jamal, do you think you'll be able to join that at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time?
I am not sure about tomorrow. Tomorrow, tomorrow Saturday is pretty crazy, but I hope I will.
Me too. We'll figure it out. I'll try to pull some sort of presentation out of my head. I don't know what I'll do.
I don't think it's as critical as the future ones, right?
Yes.
The idea of having something to entice, what a ChatGPT remark, right? How do we entice, or I need to come up with titles to our Evolving in Education theme for ongoing meetings. Like, give me 20 intriguing possible discussion topics, because a nice little Q&A about a 5-minute presentation on the latest in neurosciences. I mean, ooh, that just sounds interesting. And I would think for an educator, yes?
No, so I said, yes, it does. That sounds very interesting.
Right? And especially knowing that you're having other input from educators. And again, you brought up how we have those individuals that have said that they have that time. Ooh, let's engage. You know, if they say they have 10 hours, wow, that's a lot of time if you think about it. And if they are not helping us come up with some of these things, if they can't attend a meeting, that's fine. But if they have those 10 hours during, so this is a big piece of it. One of the big pieces of these ongoing meetings that are virtual, everybody's tied up in time. Having a way to place them, that's kind of cool about Telegram. You place your own thoughts in a repertoire, like a box, so that others could go in and look at them, is kind of becoming a thing, right?
At a later date.
Yeah. Well, at the time, convenient to the individual viewer, so that they're all in one place. The presentation is, and then even the discussion. You're like, Facebook is great for that. Someone will post something, someone's posting a post, and someone finds it interesting, so they go in and comment on it. That could be the focus of the next upcoming meeting. You see what I'm saying? Like, the idea of allowing people to participate when they're ready and able is part of the now season. We're in this, everybody, when they're available, they participate. When they're available, they contribute. And that contribution is still valuable, still relevant, because the group takes it on in the actual meeting and discusses. Wow, did you see what Laura said, or Amber was talking about? We've done that before, but just kind of formalizing it and making it more a part of what we're doing.
And just to add on to that, maybe it's time, Amber, that you start delegating, those people that have responded to
We've
the
been
form.
saying,
And because, I know you're very nice and everything, but if without delegation from the leader on top, which is you, we are kind of at a standstill, right? So I would just say, target those people and say, give them something simple, a very simple mission. Maybe they have great ideas we missed. Hey, can you review this proposal? Send me back your comments, please. Take your time, take a week or so to review this proposal. And so you start small, and then maybe later they can do a diagram for you, or it's not for you, but for the initiative. So anyway, I would just start very small delegation. And if they're busy, they'll say, hey, Amber, I'm sorry, I'm going on a family vacation. I can do it next week. Great. You see?
Yes, wonderful. That's great advice. I do need to start doing that. I lack the leadership knowledge of sort of how and where to start, but I'll take that advice, and I'm gonna rewatch this video a couple times to gather all the information. I think I'm pretty ADD, so it doesn't sink in all at once, but
That's
but
okay.
that's wonderful. Yes, and I look forward to continuing to work with you fine folks.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone. That was a great meeting.
Thank you.
Jamal.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
I
Great
sure
seeing you again.
your time,
Likewise.
Limor, and I sent you those 2 documents.
Okay, wonderful. I'll get to it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Take
Bye.
good care, Limor.
Have a good day.
Bye.
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 too.
Thank you. You too.